Hey everybody, it's Pam from Nana's Crafting Cottage, and as promised, I want to do some photos that I learned a bit from Louisa Heinzel, how to distress them. So I'm just doing my take on it. So hopefully you'll come along with me and do this with me. Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad that everyone is here. I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate your kind comments. So let's get started. Okay, these are Tim Holtz different photographs, and so I wanted to play with these and kind of get my feel for it, and then I have two pictures that I want to do with you. So they are these two here, and they're also Tim Holtz. They're very heavy, and that's what I needed. I did do a regular photograph and put it on the front of my shabby chic waterfall journal, and it came out pretty cool, so I was pretty happy with it. So anyway, let's get started. First of all, we need to figure out what distress inks you want to use, or regular ink. I have black, the Memento black. I'm going to be using that for the stamping. And then for the distressing, I'm going to use my Vintage Photo Oxide and my Scorched Timber ink. So yeah, that's what I decided to do. So first, I also have water, and I have frayed burlap as my spray to rub in over the distressed torn areas here. Okay, so first of all, you have to decide, okay, where do I want the distress to be? Do I want it mainly at the bottom? Do I want some at the top? How do you want to do that? I think for this one, I'm going to peel back some at the top corner here. This is the hardest part of the whole thing, and it's really not all that hard, but it's kind of challenging at times. But you can see that the shiny part here is in a top film. So you just take it and just start tearing wherever you want it to not be. Let's put it that way. And you could do a spot there, and then let's do a spot here at the bottom. So I saw Louisa do this, and I thought, oh, that looks like fun. So I just got done playing with these and drawing them, and wanted to show you guys how this can be done easily. Now, the reason why I'm peeling up the top is because, like I said, this is shiny. So if you stamp on it or ink it in any way, like that, even if you think it's dry, it's not going to go anywhere. It just comes right off. So the distressing is needed on just the paper itself. So you can tell that's bare just by no shining here. Okay? And she explained it in super detail, but that's the basic idea of it, is to get down to the paper level instead of the shiny level. And then I take my sander and sand in strokes, in rounds, however you want to do it. Kind of get it smoothed out, but also distressed at that angle there. And then go around the edge wherever there isn't anything torn back. And I also like to do some tearing of my own. So I just, because sometimes, you know, these photos, if they're really old photos, you get the tearing and the creasing like that, and wrinkles in it just from wear and tear. So then I'm going to continue on around, and I'm just making this a quick video, how-to video. I hope everybody's 4th was good. Ours was good. It was quiet until about 7:30 at night, and then everything started breaking loose. There were a lot of areas around us that were shooting off the great big old things, big booms and stuff, and we no more than get to doze off, and boom, here we go again. They did that about till about 11:30. Okay, so there is my distressing with the sander. You can use any kind of sandpaper you want. I just happen to have the Pouncer with the sanding discs on it. So you can tell here are all the scratches in it, and yeah, where you're going to ink and distress. Okay, so what I want to do is use my script stamp that I got off eBay. It's an older Stampin' Up! One. So I was really happy to find this. So what I'm going to do is take my black ink and just put it all over. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be clear. Just all over where you think you want to have it on your photo. Okay? So I got it inked up. I'm going to turn this around. I didn't want a whole great big giant piece of paper here. It's just kind of cumbersome. So I'm just going to put it straight down and press. Okay? And you might think, oh no, it's all over the photo. Yeah, it is all over the photo, but where it is, it's not going to stay there. It magically disappears off of the photo where it's still shiny. So we still have that, okay? And then you want to go around with whatever ink you want. Like I said, I'm going to use Vintage Photo, and then my ink of Scorched Timber. And you're going over that roughed area as well, because it's going to stay there. It's been scratched up and taken the shine off. Okay. I'm going to be doing that, and then I'll go over it with my Scorched Timber as well. And get a deeper color. And it's ink, so it will be darker on here when I put it on. Okay, so you can kind of see some of the scratching, sanding areas on here. Here they kind of show up. Okay, so there's that color, and then I want to do my ink around wherever I want it darkest. And the creases, just kind of here and there. Make it good and grungy. That's my thing, remember? Now I was trying to figure out what on earth am I going to work on next. I still don't know. If you have any suggestions or want to see anything, let me know in the comments below. I'd appreciate it. Because I've kind of come at a standstill as far as, okay, what on earth do I want to do next? What project do I want to do? What do you want to see? So you need to tell me. How's that? Okay, so here we are so far. It's pretty grungy already, isn't it? Okay, but I do want to spray a little bit of my Distress Oxide spray, and it is the frayed burlap. But instead of spraying on and making it really dark, I want to put just a squirt down there and a squirt of water, and take my, this is a wet one, and just kind of go around wherever I want to make it grungier. This is so much fun. So much fun. You guys have got to try this. You just let your inhibitions go, is all I can say. Just let them go. Let them go and let it be. There we are. Now I am quite happy, quite happy with that. Quite happy with that. And, you know, from a photo that's completely clean like that to something like that is just amazing. Amazing. So there's that one. I'm going to let it set aside to dry with the others. I'm going to put this aside for the moment. And I'm also going to use my script stamp for this one, I think. So, let's go across the top here. And however it tears is however it tears. You can, you know, just go with the flow, or you can try and control what is torn. But it's not always going to work that way. Let's see if I can get this up here. Okay, there we go. Get it started. Kind of come along. And just kind of let it tear on its own, basically. And come on this side. Get the nail in there. Sometimes they're more difficult than others to get it healed up. There we go. Let's get it started here. But you do need to get rid of that coating on there. Okay, so here, there's that. And then, let's see, I come down the side. A little bit like that. And then let's just kind of tear it here. Like I said, I've tried it on a regular photo, and it works. It's just you don't need to peel this upper layer. There's no real upper layer to it on regular photographs. I mean, there's shininess in that, but there's no real thick outer area. Okay, and I think I'm just going to go on around on this one and see how that goes. I haven't done any mixed media like this for long time, and I'm really excited about this method because, you know, you get these photos and you think, okay, well, I can ink the edges, but it's just, and rough the edges, but it's still not exactly like what you want. It isn't to me anyway. It isn't to me. So let's just kind of smooth it out, rough it up around the edges here. If it gets dirty, that's fine. That's from the other photos and from what I'm taking off of the photo itself here. That just adds to the grunginess of it. Okay. Very simple. And let me get rid of that. All right. And then you may want a few tears here and there. You know, I like that because, I mean, after all, old photos, they do get torn if they've been handled in any way. Okay. And then I also like to use my distressing tool here. This is my Tim Holtz one. And just rough up these edges good. It tears, but folds, it folds. Just let it go. Let it go. Okay. And just on around wherever you want it. You have the semi-control of what happens to your photo. Sometimes it's not under your control, but sometimes it is. Okay, there we go. There's our base. I have the shininess taken off all around here, as you can tell. Sanded it down. Okay. That side. Let's kind of mop this up a little bit. Get it out of our way. Okay. Now, like I said, I want to use my script stamp because I just absolutely love how it came out on this one. So, that is what I'm going to do. Okay. So let's get my black, and I love the black ink. I tried it with the vintage photo on these two, and they just did not show up. The vintage photo Distress Oxide is way too light. If I had the ink, it may have a chance. If I use the Distress ink, it would probably work okay. But I decided to just go to my Memorex, or Memento, sorry, and use that. So, anyway, I'm going to at least halfway down here. Okay. And you don't need a whole lot because it doesn't have to be, let's see, let me go a bit further down. It doesn't have to be super perfect or super clear. Okay. And anything around the edges, I just stamp again. There we go. Okay, now walk it around here where it's all shiny because it'll never dry. You can try it, but it'll never dry on there. Okay, there's that so far. I love that script stamp. So cool. I'm so glad I found that. Okay, I'm going to put that aside. Now, let's do some vintage photo. And do the edges, the distressed part of the photo. Okay. This is so much fun. You guys have got to try this. It's so much fun. You just let yourself go and just let it be. And that's really a hard thing for me, and it's what I've had to learn doing junk journaling and ephemera and all that. I've had to let go of my desire to make things perfect. I'm a Virgo, so there you go. That is what we do. We are perfectionists at heart, and I've had to really work at letting that go. Okay, let's get the crumbs off of here. And there will be crumbs. Okay, so here we are now, the next stage. Okay, you can kind of see the scratching and the wear and tear, basically, is what I'm trying to go for. Okay, now I want to put some of the frayed burlap on here. So let's get some of that going on. I love this frayed burlap for this kind of project. I just love it. It's perfect color. It's not real overpowering. Okay, and then I can find a cleaner spot on here. Don't know if I can. Okay, here we go. And you just do it. Yeah, just do it. Just let it go. Just kind of buff it in wherever you want it. If you don't want it dark, don't do it dark. If you don't want it on there, don't put it on there. Very, very simple. Okay, there's that. To put this aside. Okay, so I don't need that anymore. Let's get it out the way. All right, I want to put some of my scorched timber on here and grunge these people up a little bit more here. Okay. If you've followed me at all for any length of time, you know that I like to do grungy. And so I just came off of doing the, trying to do a shabby chic type project. So I'm really aching to do this. There we go. That, I like that. I like that a lot. So let's see what we have done together. Okay, we've done these two together, and they both come out different, but, you know, the same kind of technique, basically. Okay, so we have those, and then here are the ones that I did to play with. I love this one. I love them both. I love them all, but yeah, it just depends on what you feel like doing. So that is our little tutorial today. I didn't want it to be a super long one. Sorry for the shine there. And just wanted to come out and show this to you guys. And the next time I'm trying to work at, I'm going to be doing some making these pretty transparent with beeswax. These are for Halloween. So I will do that on our next video. So I hope you'll join me for that. And I will see you very soon on the next video. Have a good day, guys. Bye.